Fishing is a core staple in the cozy game genre. I'm making a cozy game, I have a body of water, I don't have a fishing system. This was the problem that I set out to solve about a week ago, and now it's time to see the results. Now there's many ways to make a fishing system, but since my game is largely centered around tools, I think it only makes sense to make the fishing rod another tool in the player's tool wheel. Now I did not feel like redesigning the tool wheel to make space for another tool in it because I've made these sprites and I don't want to change it. So instead I just added a magic button which brings you to a second layer of the tool wheel, and I can later fill that layer out with even more tools if I think of any. And I made this fishing rod in Blender, gave it some animations, and I'm using Godot's animation tree state machine to make the transitions between all the animations. I also added a float as a separate object to the fishing rod, and this float uses linear interpolation to go back and forth from the fishing rod to the water, or whichever place you threw it at. Now when the float is in the water, I obviously want it to look like it's in the water, so I added some sine wave movement, just a little bit, just to make it look like it's floating up and down a little bit, and then some rotation to it as well. And then I added a timer to the float which randomly pulls it down under the surface of the water, and that'll basically be the player's cue to start reeling in. Now you might have noticed that I take a lot of inspiration from Minecraft's fishing system, mainly because Minecraft is also first person and has tools. Now, unfortunately, Minecraft's fishing system is one of the worst, in my opinion. It's just not very exciting. You just wait for the float to dip, click a button, get a fish, you know? So I'd like to add some more engaging elements to it. To do that, let's just copy the health bar from my Borderlands clone. Yes, I made a Borderlands clone. Check it out if you haven't. And make that into a fishing progress bar instead, where you have to alternate your mouse clicks to bring the fish out of the water. And then let's just spice it up with some nice sound effects as well. Yeah, let's talk about the fish. It started off innocently enough. I was streaming, making some fish here on YouTube, and I wanted to make the fish flop around on the ground, right? So I thought I'll just add 2 colliders to the bones to make it flop realistically. That did not work. They just started flying off into the distance, and they kept flying for hours until I finally gave up and said, you know what? I'm gonna have to fake the flopping. Now how do you fake the flopping? Well, you add a timer to the fish and make this timer send random physics impulses to the fish every 0.2 seconds or so, and that paired with the flopping animation makes it look like the fish are actually flopping. And then I had the brilliant idea of asking you to come up with different fish variations that I could implement in the game. So I posted a shorts video. Anything you comment on this video will be made into a fish in the game. Every single comment. I know what I said. It just... We got banana fish, bass fish, breadfish, catfish, clownfish, diamond fish, nerdfish, normal fish, Obama fish, poop fish, puffer fish, rainbow fish, sandfish, sassy fish, swim, shady, fish taco, fish with wings, and of course, you know. So we got a lot of fish, and there's gonna be even more before I'm done with this fishing system. Now the fish are split into different rarity tiers and all have different values, and you will eventually be able to sell them to a fisherman, which is not yet implemented, but he will be. But let's get back to the fishing. Apart from the progress bar that pops up while reeling, I also wanted to add a progress bar when casting, kind of like Stardew Valley, where getting a good cast increases the chances of getting a good fish. So I just made a progress bar with a gradient texture, added some animations and sound effects just to get the juice right. So now we have 2 progress bars. One for casting and one for reeling in. The one for casting affects which type of fish you can get, and the one for reeling in affects whether you catch the fish or not. I debated adding a bait system, like Terraria or My Time at Porsche, to give the fishing system even more depth. Maybe I'll add it and make it so they can switch the bait type, just like you switch the seed type on your planner, and then the bait will also have an effect on the types of fish you can get. I don't know, I haven't implemented it. Tell me what you think of it in the comments. So with these progress bars in place, the fishing system is basically like Minecraft's fishing system on steroids, right? With engaging sound effects and progress bar mini games. The beta's available on my Patreon. You can go in and try the fishing system right now. It's $5 a month, and you also get some source code from my other projects, including the Borderlands clone. And you know, diving into this project again, it really gets my fingers itching. Like, I have a dialogue system and a quest system and an inventory system, but they're all bad, you know? I kind of want to change all of them. So who knows what the next video will be about, honestly. I will also probably live stream next week, but you'll hear more about that later. What he's still doing here.